Now, Omar, coming back to you again, regarding the economic, condition of this country. Critics will say that, having loan, or there's no country on earth that doesn't have what they call, bilateral relation with other countries. So now, Gambia realizing that we really or mostly depend, on loans from other countries. Do you think this is affecting our country?
All right, thank you very much. Ibrahim. I would still like to go on with the
Local
language.
It's okay.
So baraka bake abala fa warta bake la Ibrahim ko nga fa nyame. Ndol ngam fo je jaman la ko jamano miaro ko nga fa nyame rek fo ne sala dan la jarame ko nyawlo. Yes, it's not bad. Every country, that is why we are living in a so-called global world. They said it's a global village. So they said we cannot go without each other. So we have to interact. So funga normal. But the problem is taking loans and grants might not be bad, but solely depending on it. Solely depending on loans. Committee saying yela balwota yalo li dani rolka. Committee funding cable bombanding. Persona dogo kera doko ebe jikila molle la pour yeso ko la pour yabalu. Khairan lal ko ede fa wadi tela kan wite ede mala fe kabalu. Kole tan ni la fa wadi tela. Sani ngara ka jibe. Nganying bankola economy jibe from 1965 today. Kabiring Jawara nata in power in 1965. You can understand ko banko mi an ko tamo na fulo man tiam. Bari banko mol kontante la banko ka. Ye domoro so e jara ken ya so. Bari sign. Mom Jawara ka loan tala for 30 years, I loan tala. But the loan debt of the country was 3 million. 3 million loan debt. German at 44 million. Right now we are talking about 104.
Yes, billion.
Not even million, but billion.
Yes, 104 billion.
104 billion. Serious.
Yes.
Loan debt all the science. Coming, we are always talking about Bankola GDP. What the Ministry of Finance been right now the bag of rice money bottle sign is 2,000 Gambian dollars. Money bottle low manna. If I'm on low manna. How much are you paying an ordinary teacher? But they got teacher Jojela. Now Siada is $5,000. Now Siada.
Guru is laughing.
Yeah, but that is the fact. $5,000 you can't do well. So 5,000
but the government came sometime in 2021 that I think there is some percentage that has been I think salary increment. So I think there was a benefit from
the
that.
issue of salary increase, man. What if one salary increase? Your tax lafa, your salary lafa. Coming abogole. You are just nothing is changing.
Plus one minus one.
Yeah. You plus one minus one. You have one body there. You're killing lafa. Coming. I'm killing it. So you can move into 5,000. I can man borrow some 2,000. Maybe I to lose some. Muso babule, dingol babule, nanda kara school, dingol nanda kadomoro kere, nanda ka famol don. When need to be function lano ero banko ka. So Nyimbankola economy from 1965, saying afono from 2016 to now. Nyimbanko instead of Aitana, it's going back. Banku Bukatano Nafulo Koma. Or more from Haramadi from Bukatano or Nafulo Koma. You have to be financially strong to do certain things. But saying Banku Mianoko, Wakala, that don't go. Daniro Labon from another Joyada Menola, Joyada, Daniro among cooking in Tolla. Daniro Bagameno button the can. I be foreign the can cool it. It have Gambia Basodal. Mianoko, Cola. Ye glados or Mianoko Gisela. It have Lenoko, what damn will form a new banco someone of Halaf Takalkaname. Mansakunda Abidara Mansakunda, Lantino di Molla, Chinese old. Outside the night, yet Bademo can a balcony, and in a yeleta, I can Sardino, Iparia Murina and a mango can Niparanga, Sangable of the back. Sardino signs and $40 or $50. nye bela ba sadi nye kile nyo kuntu ninge ko leje ko yasang dal talu mini ho sabu mini ho no fumba kan tun gambe no fo ke mira ba e wo bebe tabul but ham saying you are poor. Gambia is not poor. But you ask yourself, you phone in Gambia, but we're not in a Gambian of Variata. For Gambia, one of that. In teacher member Karamoto, they all want to ride their own cars. A bail after can live in a dignified life. But nothing for kunung. If there is no justice for the people, let there be no peace for the government. Nim banko mol mang ifang soro nela banko government kana kairo de. Nim banko maningol kami fo bataro yalla. Wala siara nim banko. Andung fon way address kaje ko wol mi ko wala be ke kan nim banko kan way tu way bulaje mo kana wol ke. Nim banko la nafulo mu mol banko la nafulo mu banko betal. Bari saindol ka delo ko bangol na fulong mo le katala no tem national cake la national cake everybody has a share mo bele share so de but sa mo nat ne ka modol nek le mini ati ne ka modol nek le sa wol ba ko cake share ni sot be dam ro ma la share mo be la ta ko share ni sot bari sa ka mo je mi an ko wol ka cake ni na tiri ko da be la kun nyim banko is solely tax dependent, apart from loans and grants. Na mol mbamal ka kodomin job man saya. Nimbanko kabaluwan. Sayang ka kodomin job kana kambalu kodo famal. Am follow kodo ngadi lang kaya mutan. The last program I said it here. There are reasons kulat na mulka election wag. Kula ya sabu mulka da karrifa. Ika karrifa kula kam. Well, saying benna rat soldol tala nyen sorende ya left the putting security, development, and stuff like that. Saying that namojo. Mansala namo ka tumola. Ni sama bante ba mansala dokula jala jala satel kono be namo collect. Fofo buka mansama luba. Ebe namo collect kamimbul instead of ya murundi kan yeba murundi. Wol ma fo ko na nan sa ninga na fulo munjo wala ninga namo munjo yana ya di mulla kodo. So development.
So we tell me that what are the problems?
The problem is Mansal are not patriotic enough to know it had to make a nafulo. A man left a banco ding one. He left a purital damal and now to tell a banco mole for air. Coditual betakan, what bocoro or can allow getting rich. Wala kodi soto yabe obe kafukan fuaro la fuare habu mun kan ko male ala lungolo wolbo fuare yakana ala lungolo ndaka samara doku sai for instance ngati yo soto ngati sama deport na julo famba manta anu ndaka bolu wala sanda bolu nyadi ndaba do mo kala nyadi at least no tiyo famba mbulu na so kono so teno nga ko do at least ngan kono bar sai nga samal ngadi mantala ngai ko not your fella saying asang man say not your tambulu aya mabo amana ko do din sabe bolwe nani ala lungolung state house ko 150,000 nadam ala lungolo hani bindol wen kata ni baro da independence la ara 150,000 dawal wala ka bo state house ni tara the ordinary government share 30 dollars Dol ko wala kan download.
Let's unbelievable for. Imavo.
Dol bi de wol tara foy fara wol mo $150,000 dom. Say muna atina man sakan dol jawya. Muna atina. Amman sa nyin ka wala muna atina ka mol jawya. Fanga ka refa wala kam. Sila nintol fana laftan ka refa la mataram fanga lebul. Na fo ko sign. Ndol fana ka ko do min dogu. Mba dun lam fanga la ko nanta na mo jo. Well, there is a school of thought, taxation is a theft. It's a state theft. More man than a jo. Sometimes I had a what don't have to the level to me and go school of thought. Because I'm more than Kanamo job. Kanamo job, but Kanamo job, Kanamo job, Nafade.
I think, in fact, that was one of the slogans for AF Small, no taxation
Without any proper representation. So I can't go covering in
No taxes without development.
yeah,
Absolutely.
no taxation without development. Or even proper representation. We are not properly represented.
Oh, you don't blame. Follow them,
Yeah. So what I'm going to go, even that Mfawala Mole are not giving us what we deserve. So still we are not properly represented. What type of representation are we receiving now?
So we could represent.
You ask yourself that question. Ika ka refa debate.
Okay.
Ita ka tale fang fo way tam ya bang. Ini mo jabe lorin debate bong ra ko ndira mol banyim marana la. Sa de ka refa na fal. Debate be jumping na from one political party ko na kara itol na flow le si wala. Ku killing mo nyanda ka understand ko. Kule ya sabu mbetaka nyindula ko. Anu kule ya sabu mbasire nyindula. Ndol be na da jambi nga na hajola bula ci raja. Kula tina. Debate fana ka kule bula kuye e kara National Assembly you are there for a reason. Ila mol dafta minna wala ke. Bari mol député ya muda kubale. Mo manke di na manke la kama kulat. They are your servants. Akan jaga langkan yung bangko mo jika man sa dugare mawe nyin ken. Ika dali me. Ko mi sanse nga kurla sama nan jangka ko ekal kuro ken. Pemba fly dugare mbal. Afla kuro ken nga na fangol dung nanu da nga diala ku nga do. Wala atina man san nyol benye ding. Ike order them to do certain things for you, not certain things, everything that they do.
And still that would reflect on our education.
On our education.
We don't know our rights.
I will sometimes disagree that with Sidibe, the mindset that you are talking about should be saved at the younger generation.
Education is okay.
The mindset that we are talking about, coming more than the attitude falling. Attitude falling at your younger generation. But with the time we do not have certain things. Coming to civic education, not in nursery school. But in prep, science form, I can tell you this for free. More national plan. No? You can go to primary school, you ask them.
Ministers, not even primary school. Ministers, ask ministers. Ask ministers. Ask ministers.
That is the reality on the ground. So that's what we more alla bankola fanko tamana na manga koma. To fanga wallong na lonko nyim banko mumbele tati. Manse alonko nyim banko bitaka ngani namu dola la kodol. Namu dola nung jumale sama do kulal.
Thank you, Umar. That's no time. Moving on to Mr. Sane. Any comment about our economic, our aspect from 1965 to date?
Be more money in Sindijan. So this should have been in the Kalamara program of Mr. Jambal. But on the back, and Kamurnang Bankola Fankola Fana. Fanko Mang Jamfaji, like economy so new loyal. Kamu de ke layman te kamu mo man karam so you can come confused with their terms and even called so but the surface thing I'm a trained journalist so ndol ka fa ñu pour na ideas on any
absolutely
So
na academy fana do mo ka dam din sute no jeng ka karam so banko la fanna ni ajibe ku kabri jawra time kanana kuma mo rafa nyama ba wala nyama na da julo la fanna so na da banko la kodula barakola o ta mo ko do man sia kuma mo rafa nyama ba barakat that is lulu ya mo ka 5 pound because o time pound killing sidibi afa jana o time was killing pound killing so da fo nya do ni pound killing na ke dalas lulu so one ka that's the pound
I am knowing this today I'm knowing this
so tawra yo katal but munat na kodula value maintain no fa nyen gawa kodula value maintain do because gambe fenni soto mi alon ko e ka bonni ja new kata o ka exchange rate ko bonkol fango yir won la ka bonkol ko do barakat Silvania Basse, they have a cotton gender.
Yes.
Avoid a fatter that. What I would to empower to so much so that every year, cotton maker harvest J, a process J, is still there.
Yeah,
the machines are still there.
It's not working.
It's not working.
Yeah, exactly.
Aka process jam, aka da. So no kata aka exchange mineral foreign exchange. So bonkola kudu ka baraka, and the kudu buka kumbuka fair. So when you we banko la fanko mako back at banko ko sotiji banko la e ka foreign exchange kan sotiji so the ubeni ngi jawna da moneke fanan tiyo la karo tiyo ka doku jende back fele mo taw ka tiyo cash crop sai gambe yenda tiyo bone cash crop ya
Absolutely.
jawre o kele tiyo ka do ku jama ba aka boni da kana to global market kana dunia dawda ban ko di balet jawre wala kenu do fo sai ala mansa kun na ko ni pour ka don to abula pour ka do ko lanjo ko do barakata ke bal ka ko man siya kun ko ni mo ko non banjul akonyo ko wala force de ka bon jar kana banjul akonyo ko 9 dollars 50 bro dollars ko non to ni tala yo kana banjul aka do ko ke I 60 dollars tell what I also know that jana ko kema fa rija kera mala bal tawo
Ko even can buy bread and
no
butter.
sir that was in the early 90s 92 ma fa kada ma 80 something so muno sa biko ko baraka mune ko baraka because gambe fe nesro mi ko ka bondi ni no ko na ko ko ya fe ko okay fana na fa fa ni be no so ko ko na na bi ko do hani kabe wol be boy gilu ko no jibe ibanu jane be operation ke kany hani wa hanal musal be la certain famol canal boy ka process jane niya bunia sama senegal ni da dol muna ka nyo kata so iferanta foreign excuse de bankol ko do fan ka baraka ka balsu kabre gilu ko be fa bi afanye gambe ka mo bondi ka men sa
Sad, nothing absolutely.
yo mano karol muka mano export bari muka mano import so muka mano import bale ani wo meni ten wo ko sai na ko do molte yebla ka fani okay la ko mba fal na la na so because mano be jen dola jar ñu ka mano do ko fele mo ka tu ka bu mo wala bu because muni mano ka do ko but bi last halifa sala ka fo in parliament the tone of rice men kana ni banku kan jam every year out abuka bam so wala ka na ko do be tenten na pour que ka fu ha ka dépousser value ni dépousser la all the time bi lorsque mo blel joko ta dum di ko ko wala paso ñu dala
Any musuma.
yaje munu sabu because man rafen the production level is zero alright umone balak mo fo jande ite mira bal be gambe bu gambe mon ko ni la do len ina serious konti banko sobe pour que jam fonta ka be pembe ti lo kanam ma on ko ne kenu bi mi angon se do ko kenu do ko kidin na mano sita afrika dawda ko daw sita kam mano di jamian ko afrika banko le to ko safi bal wala ka ada dai kana mulan do kenu la baba mo bu ko na fa nyam job jamian ko gisel isa do ko ke yara so mana man kenu so ala kenu bala mun sabu na ko do do yemi fangol ko kaza umata was after the malaka arab so mana ko dola balu be jika because wala ko be sabu man rafen ko hani dol tam hani abulana fa nyadi penselo hani muka fede dano muka fen pendin so they have a family ni bina je ba fa nyuka ba tet na tet so
The condition of how to
kan na ko dola barko jindi c'est seno kenole bari man so be seno fanara sango sang ko men kadi agriculture ka siale do nti balbi safu ko nyini ni do te anglican balfo dimbango kan ka mo anglican fo ko la fe man raja billah wala kan ndebo ko gamel news jibe
I will answer this squarely.
News no mimna at the level of the government news jibe e kaje you see this experts e bo mo to fo la fa ni londo carte soto na diam de ba ko hay gambe sai
Yeah, friends. This man, we
but anglican ba fo ko la fentita
absolutely.
so ni wala mambo metentina la kabata umari afanya marbo don kunu sudo mo be mo wala ko jibe ga afanya kunu ko sai marbo is 2000 nka ko I said it ota mon lokum fula sabo ko man ka fula ko su ngoro ngara man boto be lufla sida ado wala man boto da ji da su non because man fanga mal kamendum o is 2500 3000 wala bay because last time do kan confirm ko that is happening so do fara kamendum sa bo bi da kan 2000 so ngata min dole ko do ser nyani ko do jambo ma mute fambul ni hada dawda ni ku kilim fula keddo buka la ko nyame molbe lo mo ni de loro kala pour kalif ka dal so wala ka dal sa ko do buka so ni charge million la ni fon ko la ya ikasla so yamal an honorary civil servant me anga dugol masakunda bukaju war juma bita fay ay fensodo pour ka femul sam ka kenu sam wala ka fudu wala ku gudul ki so banko la kolya na doku balya ani na pare balya ani na sobe balya wala na banko tisano nyaado babe multa me alan ko sense ku kenu wala je na atmosphere bi je me alan ko we have a sunny fenko atmosphere is so friendly that it's a femo fen da doku no ganul ka ila kabila jijibe weda be nyame ko ko nim fenduli ka dokuli ka findini jenu sa han tentuli ki findini ko gambe kam ne findini
That's the question.
so wala be tentenna pour ka bata din na fango jawra be jawata min na comme kamuru no kandro ga findini na ko barakata ko man siya barakata bi ko do siya ta bar mo ga findini so ko do valo jite bi pano ning sakat do be fakara fa edison editu la si so ngata min dole bata be tentenna le inflation me ka ko o ta mo man siya kodo man siya nyona bari mol ko kuye mal keno kodo la kodo barka ni basay kodo siya ta fimu ko keno asro player banko clair mo be wurka so comme na fa nyame drong pour ka to agree umar ka fa ko mom pare and then now pare balanya abe tentina and then adada karte fe ko kono so niya ci bi niru ma fa njibe bal na ko gamme no fa la fa bata ha bata ko mboto bari ni no politician no kabila fa ka succeed into drong in talal ndere di batan kam face umar ko face be ko face bar na jerinya ya yang fatan wol bi ni lor jam ko ñin so do waje ko okay abi jam kan ne abi ñu fokan katun ñine ñinat na ba ñu fokan so police no soksi tam pour kan ke wol yen tala be la batal mun clinity ba na jerinya ba ul batal wol kili wol man kili ma sa ko na fa rat na ko be en kem no kala awan so dolla I think it's transport o muneva
Transport residential.
transport ni munat na manke e fa ñu nga because banko fango mana ko fenke ke pour na central bank le safaro ke yi angle kambal faji naraka du modul fana je yuta ko sound ka ko sa banko la economy is doing well inflation of talakan ne by this percent or so wala na wo ingre no manna because in reality nabije masakunda la fa prene ko mo fu mo le manna nabije manna ni mak ba ko do intije because na scheme rate ni me nyame ani na di ko do value nyame a serious ba ken so kamala don in ko mi an ko be la ke fa ke no because amantara je so ka mo ko don tele jero nyame na jero dam wala diko because man rafenne produce ka men ko ma fintin la so kamala don fam fen do ka do moja abe kana so kamala don atana fanko ni febu so na fanko man re akataka men ko mo no
Interested. I mean, we are running out of time, but we have to deal with the topic. I mean, that is like, I mean, corruption. So, Mr. Sidibe, I mean, let's venture into corruption now. And then, critics will say this. I mean, how to call it? The corruption, I mean, stage in this country is just, I mean, crazy. It is a day in, day out. And of course, in a broad daylight, I mean, corrupt people are, I mean, engaged in corruption scandals and other things. So, what is really the problem behind this?
Thank you so much, Mr. Mbai, for that question. And this topic is passionate. I'm passionate about this because, as far as I'm concerned, it is our big problem, if not the biggest problem in this country. Now, if you look at corruption, I was disappointed to hear from the most powerful man in our country, by constitution, that is the president, describing the audit report as an opinion. You understand? If a president describes audit report, how audit reports are valid in other countries, you know, these are men of high caliber, like trusted men of integrity. Now, this audit report, they have their own principles and all those things. So when that report is out, that audit report is there to help you as a president, as a leader. But you are calling it a mere opinion. For me, to hear that statement from the president has set the stage, or even set the stage, for all these problems that we are seeing. That's why corruption has now become a culture, a way of life to so many Gambians. People do things because they feel like whatever you do, nothing will happen. I'm going to use my own base, for example, our area council. You've been following, there is another commission.
The local
government commission. This, it hurts me a lot. To see only few people, you know, withdrawing money from one account to another.
Without following due protocols.
Without following due protocols. You think you are dealing with uneducated people, you are dealing with people that do not know anything. The way they behave, you look at Beckham again, that guy. You know, all these things are happening. And every now and then, we hear corrupt scandal. And their force of authority. So many things. And my problem is, when this corruption is revealed, we always have what we call spin doctors, like those who always want to gloss over information. Like, if something is like this, they'll always bring, as you said, and they'll come back. You know, we have a lot of them here. Even when something is wrong, to accept that this is wrong or this is how it happened, they'll come using rhetoric. This is like this, it happened because they'll be giving us international standard. What is international standard? Is it not a concept? In fact, to say something is international, for me, I consider it as a concept. What might be right might not be right to another person. So this is a big problem. And we have a lot of them, spin doctors. So this is wrong, but they will always try to make the information nice, you know, try to fool, especially gullible ones. You know, we also have a lot of people that are easily deceived in this country. You say one or two things,
Yeah.
Now, right now, we are struggling. Just wait when election is due. They'll come with elephant projects. They will start the
Constructions.
construction and all those things.
Stone lay. Is it stone lane or what? Markets. I mean, construction of markets and all that stuff.
Exactly. And imagine when they start that one, you easily forget. Hey, Baro is like that. You give them few. They forget about everything. We are struggling because we voted for this guy. We said we need second term. Some of us, God knows, I voted for Halifa. Yes, I can say it here publicly. But when I drop my Bible, the ballot drop, you can feel, or you could feel at that time that only few voted for Halifa. And you hear everybody say, Halifa is good, he's educated, he knows what to do. But they will not vote for you. What is our problem there? Then this one is good, he has the stuff, you are not ready to vote for that person. And we are struggling, we'll still keep crying. So corruption for me, I think it's a big, big problem in this country. And it's all down to honesty. Honesty. Because if you look at corruption, you know that you are representing people. My colleagues here highlighted it. But from the lawmakers, for example, the lawmakers are some of our referees, the lawmakers and the judges. The lawmakers, they brought a bill to increase their own salaries, right? They increased their salaries exponentially. Now, when the judges also came, what happened? They said no. Are you seeing the drama? The judges, they brought the bill, but the lawmakers, they said no. But after increasing their own salary, how about the teachers and other civil servants? They are ignored. And these people, what they're receiving is a lot, bro. So I think for me, corruption is a serious problem. That's why every now and then you hear, last time they closed another, it's a pharmacy, Mr. Bojang and other stuff. Yeah. We don't even know who is telling the truth. This story will come, another story will come, we are confused. Somebody who is helping a lot of Gambians, uplift Gambians, helping Gambians in terms of health sector, they close it down just because of one thing. If they close that one, what about that acute kidney?
Absolutely.
How many people died?
Big question.
Heads should have been rolled. So I think, as I said, I always want to be precise. We need this thing, morality, attitudinal change, and let us be honest. Let us tell one another the truth, and let us stop these praise singing here, and let us say to one another the truth. If something is wrong, let us say it. It doesn't matter how much it will cost us, but the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is that good men do nothing. That's what Edmund Burke said. So good people, when they see something that is very bad, they should always condemn it. If you see evil is taking over goodness or so, it's because the good people are keeping quiet, they're not doing anything. And that is disastrous. Thank you.
Esteemed viewers, just to remind you once again, this is Fine TV Gambia, your only viewpoint. And of course, it is your current affairs program on a theme today. The journey after independence. We are, into issues, our educational sector, our health sector, corruption, and you understand, the economic aspect, since after independence. Gambia is 59 years old today. But how far are we in our economic aspect? How far are we in our educational aspect? How far are we in corruption, whereby, many believe that corruption is now a broad daylight, it's everywhere. People do it without any fear. So going back to Umar, I know, you have, a lot of issues to talk about when it comes to corruption. Karl Marx once said that corruption is worse than prostitution. Because if you are, most of the time, if you're engaging in corruption, what you do is like you are depending on people's, what everybody should have, you are seizing that as an individual, taking that on your own.
Killing people. You are killing people.
Absolutely. So, where he declared it like it is worse than prostitution. Prostitution, let's say it might be only for your individual, absolutely. But for corruption, you are affecting the whole populace. So, Omar, what do you have to say, in that regards?
Yeah, this is very sad that we are living in a country. Corruption on sign is a tradition. Corruption on sign after the level of the Moldman Sila Hakola. Silebe will still continue to talk about attitudinal change. Still has to run down our civic awareness. What can you do for your country? And what your country can do for you. So we realonko ita mo banko dingol. Andong banko dingye nyantol so. Pero nyantol ko no. Gade ko right, so wala tinang ko kabirimba talking about education ko the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education dingon mantraga karan in our public institutions, in our public schools. The failed educational system yang gabe installing. Ito malafi dingon let through war. Most of them prefer dingon in America or big, private schools. They are going to pay millions of dollars for them to get quality education. Coming Uncle Yafa the Nyamen. Then Jawara Jamano, the education was not, that quantity. We have quality education, but we do not have it quantity. But sign, GB sign, corruption. In China, you are there. In Europe, you resign. They force you to resign. But what happens in Gambia? We celebrate them. Sign, for instance, if Ibrahim is appointed or Uncle Lia is appointed as, let's say, Minister of, Education, and then Abiji for 10 years, I'm on Bullo, like I'm on Motosang, I think I'll be in the public institution. But time, ni Uncle Falinta within a blink of an eye, more be at a bunyalu, I'm a balbor, you will be able to in a private institution. I base some of, for instance, Sebeco, America, or other parts of the world, put it a quality education so that people will start celebrating more. Kendola, Maja Bunyalu,
Pafuda,
Akatambarik, Ecolodia.
Uncle
Kurumin detail, Yana Abunida. And for Uncle, it will like Oran Uncle. Blooming ka diro nga wal fisala blooming ka taro. Muna nakulog la sadaro. Yeah, even religiously. Muna nakulog la sadaro. Sada thala na da barkala fae mo si min ka saladi. So corruption in Africa, in Gambia in particular, coming 1965 today. We said Jame blamed Jawara for corruption. But then, what we heard from people is like, Jawara atika balafa juna like, aka balafa moel up to an extent, ne corruption na kay kaka afro ko teta isi afro, ni molie de yenana. Come nim pol nyim botala sai, you can come back. If that was the case, then I hadn't little go. Considering what time the country has been facing issues like this. More corruption. Was maybe Jamila Jamano, corruption was not that rampant as now. Because Ninja corruption, I found corrupt. But to some extent, he might not allow other people to be corrupt. But I found back I think I had a back whether you like it or not. But saying about Jamano aside. From the president to any individual, signs they are holding big positions. All corrupt, all of them. From the president, permanent secretaries, ministers, even our National Assembly members, they are all corrupt. They are all corrupt. So before they go, Edward Francis Small said non-taxation without proper representation. Are we still represented? Do we still need or are we still having the representation that we deserve? But saying you can't go. I would never debate a go. It only from a nafull tie, kafun yaki from that. But what officially to Lego? There is a constituency development fund for every constituency. Saying what happens? Other people will not even know that there's a constituency development fund. I contested last local government election. You will talk to people about what development fund about.
Still back to the education.
It still has to come down to the civil awareness of the people. Moli la nyantol kalamunda kalongo do nyanda ka nyina ga nyina nyanda ka ke andum kule bi dem yalon ko wonyanda ka kele wayden to ngala bi wala mala laftam mal la kana ka ke so bari onkul ko ning diam da ngala ada nyanda ka mimbe fonko bereta me la flaka nako ko do janne thank you.
Interesting. So, Mr. Zani would also like to comment on the corruption, I mean, the stage of this country. And then what do you think should be put in place to ensure that this corruption is mitigated? Some believe that it cannot be stopped, but I think it can be stopped.
Corruption of Janko. And Tapalaya Aka Lafa. The corruption index Gambia Niajibe. What Jamano Jamala Gambia Kalafal, corruption of Kalafal. Umare Memfo Jawra Kabra water corruption of Bijan. In the sense that I mean for Jawra Kabala Juna. So Okamala from Ruby near corruption of Lado. Okay, transfer. Corruption Marco, work corruption Marco. So, but we can blame that to various factors. Jawra at the time in our cabinet, Memphis that the fire senior school bank at the Malod, the entire cabinet. So, Lundu to close asking to get a collar Purka Murunatna. So, more from the civil support.
What's the problem?
So, a lot of factors.
So, those who are understanding factors.
From the corruption of Ketale, factor Jama. So, Jamena to come after the marketer. So, Bantife, Jankon Tapalayam Kultimeranko, Ala Buso, and a farol.
Okay.
More corruption, okay. Yamude Yafa. Nakeba, Pelumba, Lumumba Kafo, Ako, corruption ka movement for Africa, Sasa Bukafa. I don't want to know. Corruption Yajibe Jam, Sidibe Memfo into that. The attitude. Umar fani nanda ko kumoto ni farambe wala fa ni mo ko place de jam ila mo kana ni na de konto ya le kana ke konto ni ko place bar kana ka bi fani bomban mo be mi na ke ka the first thing e ka mem bule ko lo ko wala ni ka fa ko bamba yesu nyaro e kana ye konto ya fa ko bi fani bomban ni dai ni mo la do asise ke len asite ko wa na mo wala e bomban so ila mo kana ya fa ko corruption ke jenko ke sunyaro ke Umar afanya ni mambo mulo in 2-3 months wale mamudo bal sang wale di musa batwa wale mamudo ka ko ni mu badaro. So that is the attitude atala for corruption we cannot blame national government demand corruption bi jere and naje ko corruption ma koy kan in all forms mana no fo wala ndiko ajibe bi mi kerne masakunda kono do se corruption ko mo janko be keren dawda the doctor Banya case Doctor Bonye dara fo ya muta crossnola ya sama ko haya kele eventual suta ali kawes makasu
He's been pardoned.
ya bula muna na ya bula tugo yan ikata dole ko this is normal mo be back kana mo that plus how many scandals la from keda in the state house me an ko be keda corruption the passport scandal momo kasi ka kamla masakunda amam bete so bon mo mo ina kasi ka kulda ka ko tunya in the file passport scandal akata scandals from ko you have people close to the president me and they are involved munakate ako nyum ni ikamu so among the central government not a local government KMC kabri sultana interview bondi aning musinu ko mona ra ko la isi tarifata mo alana tablo kan odat sultana ne ka fo yata ka yata wala admit on TV ko yes no corruption ko munakita corruption no hana da musab dalasta na wala anyenda ka mugal ya sama ya soron fasio wala ya fa wala ya bukolas munakit ya transfer wala man na Afrika ma ida consultant corruption no men kedeje burenga ida consultant fela mo le staff li bukajo this time na pa be ndo jabe interview ke kam fakala kumbol ko man bota ki ba ko wala ka do ko ke ne consultant ne fen ko bari man jono because of corruption no mo jela konkandi o pa be le sukona ni no do ko be breka na kan
Sad.
plus breka ida kan 60% of their revenue nyenda ka mo back to people ay na ka lutano ma ko doku ban breka waje ni ka tambije ya lebu ni ka tamsilo ka musul be ka wuri ka da wuri ka lebu billahi wallahi tan because mo kana kunul me yango nyenda kana lutano de priki bondi ke bonu dal fan wala ke doku aman naje mo dantan wala be jifol kon andi sa mun nyam mo di me yango ni ke na place ka tay apano dile ya muta ya ko billahi wallahi tan ben kare la ko na place ta jam fan ta bango kete yakuvu la kidi killing yakaloke baro ku daw ba nyate market nyakan killing fulan nyam ye promise lahi do wane ka ko I promise that I will be fair
without any ill
will fair
affection something like that. I don't know.
ala ko ikrano kono ko ya ay walizina mo limata kulu ma tafalu al kana fem ko altemenke sa ku fulan na ji yakaloke killing fulan nyam ye lahi do ke banko be yo ki sai kana wala fe sunya killing because libe afo diko wala killing flan nyam fanam honesty libe honesty fanam fo sabanya fanam mi re ni ati mo mi re la kabro su fo because ni te ko suno hani dalas kilata ni ifata no ya yewtal wolum men bonko ben ni bijeko di so ni damari yewtal men mo dina ka fa gamenol ko wala ta yam folete wala ma yam fete nan ko to ma do mi an ko kidney problem la fa den na kala laran kili na wala tan ra ñu fo ñu ya ko ni mol ma yam fete ala fa wala sambi ni ni mol ko mi an ko le jëm ko ke men ni la tan do ay ka ba kidney problem so to anyen da kata oversystem ni ko ko jarno mo na da jarno ko si de jara ka ko na gale nako uta utu wawlo jam ika tin fanko kadda ke ko ni fanko man sabgo da so neje wol bige bekke no sambi ko janko ko no ni kala dama kataw so no ko to mani fata because ala kidni man jarno jam amanna ma ko fonso pour kata banda afat akama yam funyo sambi ni ko no me anko wolle ko ni ta ya badra tinya ani na kala dama man taw ni wol fata bi la saldar almawo se do ya foko moji ha jumala jiro bala iko mo julta banko be jiro bala ar moji le fata banko di ko me anko me jam famare abita be alata e morning ala timo ni je kanta aske no be ka sali wala ka kul julge kan jimbo balke ala kam kafra yam bala jam fodo bari mole na fo niata ati dal ati ita kisala because fo mole ya fema folo ko muy multi ala hajito so na diko wala bije plus nga nyuma ko yalla ta masako ko ida kan nga pour men be fego pour gadino ko masako na damante na local government me ngo fongo local state lo wala fonka kin to manako masako ko ida kan so dara fo ko manboro wulta uliwo manboro ko manboro jide samsa manboro uliwo wo skandal fana kare mun bot aliya mo men dara ko fi mo boy ta passé ida kan corruption men kare jala mo men kare ko fem mo boji so ñun bebe kering ta ministry to tourism ministry the jeti board na kamna parliamentary na je parliamentary inquiries kata parliamentary minister man Hamad Ba he was even brutal absolutely billahi so in a serious nation a vote of censure should have been passed Hamad Ba bondi la pass because he was really major defect
coronavirus also
the corona funds Allahu akbar Gambia is a sad nation deka to ka fole mo ka fa ñako is a signature ka fa ha and man rafa come because of the people in the government but be ndo ñina finta ñoo kam may banko kanyana because of jenkola because mo jele be fakam because of jenkola buka bang na karamul be ta bi SIG buka na karam SIG buka na karam do bi first time la SIG akana ile tatam ado fana kana only 10% do bi wala kan last time ale protest mo le jitu ñoo ko live kon ta mo le ko ile protest kala live kon fenko parce que on a rien hali 25 million dila 25 million dollars 25 million you will be like mo karam so we are not serious about anything here in this country because dana LGB mo jele fakam bi on issues da miyalan ko ntara bañu ko mo jibe je ko on kon issues da miyalan ko they can be done here na mo jele miyalan ko kanda na Dr. Mayana man the first successful ni operation ko ja work na yelen no so bari mo mas mo muna na mas mo man so million jele different da moto na auto ma 3.5 or 3.9 what be the town lul ni say olio mention akoro nyimbe say is like more than come yalo ni bonko me akko ni gawa is only 1% or less than 1% of the population will be mola ko be putu pasaka the rest of the citizens will be suffer ndela mundem masako na document every month necessarily come the document come kunde men directly over 540 something dollars karo kari ko ndela ko doto ka sambe kadu namo ko ndega mun jewo kon national GBB kata mo le dead tablet sulu mom betia ni sulu mo tambe be kamalo sa yi ko dule kaslo jala jamma fo nyaawo farinje jam nyaawo farinje mul ni ngol bakar takam full speed la ni so wala fi mensa fin at any moment I fin in a serious country ba anyama ni be bor kan wo slow kan wo sila sila kan fo ni ko kata fo basse ñen ka slow la fano be ni bor ka yalla ko ñin kana so mo jile mo faka accident each and every day because ñena slow ndo ko la me doku because mo ka kickbacks na OIC senda jam ye mo na fo je ko di fenso ni 64 million lambo fo yo lo sanol
lambo ni fa
64 million in a serious country fe mo ba ko ko ni hani inquiries for man so are we serious so gameno kala ka bata so natanda ka bata ha because niaga banko sobo kan nyanda ka wuli nyokam banko kanyen on issues la me yan ko be kere corruption ka mo men fa sa sabu ka fa manku kan corruption lo ka as down sabu corruption tiny police yaji ko me kerinje ko kana mi alan ko dia criminal issues wala ko mi alan ko be kering instead ndala police fon ike jagal nin corruption me be kerinya police mo ka si foye batu ya fako jonga here games birka ira consular fon ko boni la kato boni ka ko is public evidence will belan muna police mo dia arrest jonga is not transferred to banyu ka mama ko tay corruption keji we will say this. These are things we cannot downplay. Now, so corruption will carry and we are putting a blind eye on it. More worry, more care, because at some point we are all complicit. Either the corruption of fasal kamu and the corruption okay, wala najin na nyala ka adu beli nyabala mo ko kanya number mention them. So na balu be tente na ka dete, mo be tente na ka fana loptanol to katum borul man soto musol saying imagine milka advocacy ka ko women life matters imagine ede amaka musol man faka musol be faka han saying but singol ko loka information ko flow nyama man flow nga nyama basa ko naka sipol kane mo man boarding pol kam wa rumors ka sia ado jawra fa nyama dami wala niya fa man sia rumors ni kam jawami to nyala tan football sector the GFF ndem mo kilel mi alam ko nalam ko GFF ba kataka be katul kikan ba ke fa they are the best national sport association ningo national sport and modul ka fami ka wurin ka bare corruption be je yung kamala yung symbol ta me ko ay la symbol de bol ta magana football fara ibrahima ning nakara dam fola fanna yirwan yung fani ko lumbi jama ka wurte te wurila because mo nekata e be implement so de some of you maybe could be very good ballers ala football no mo jama la kare ka fajam because of football amanda nya bi stadium krim fanya na can you imagine a whole nation Gambia ndol mom play no fama bango kana hawgi mon ke be play banda manasa ko ko lolti ko fifa ma ko lodi nyila every year fifa ka gal segment pour do ko na wando ko who are those responsible for that ye mona kera e man na sidi mo hayna jana mo ka play no jeng kata na hongi mo play jana wondi banko let so unemployment fund mo jama ina ka dogo bi mo be tanu ka kati tani no sol ni fengol ana wol fund man wona tarate sir bataro ni fengol butaw jamal tami kake sabu kake so ikaje say do gol man soto say fengol adulta billahi wallahi nak moje amamme adun be ñoto because of drug ay kuslama ko in kusme ango mo kulo ka bani wolba ay wis yer documentary jibe sarale e ka mo kulo te kake drug ko ti say na fengol ko saba aba gambe na moja nyamande amamme amal lo ko nyama boyo. Now, in this last program, more of the attitude of a lot program, Akola move for the very day because I Kuslama, abe Tarafa Nibola, a Molia Marok, a Bolia Maroko, Saldara, so Mama. By the time I realized it was late, you blame Morocco to some fatty because of drug. Whatever Tentanakake, Crambe Hyla, because of corruption, because of corruption, because corruption in the Coleman Take on a football pitch in a Karambundal, in a Jarakanda Bundal, Kukul be Kanya, Baja, Funding say engage, Nima engage, idle, ni idle, the drogma, the mole fala, mole sola, if only fala, drog la fungo, Yama Mala, Robrica. So within the one of Massam Nema Sakuna Dogla in the Mole Miango offensive, it is secure, so security Bacala. I'm surprised for time of Labanda, Mandiam security. So, but this should have been our first victim. So, within the one near Bunjamalo, ebe bunya ebe fenso lola ye wulindi ye o sedina wala be wayal kala ji sedina wala be wulo kala sul kon yo ci kala ji pour wala be sele le bundal do hano fonti tankal foy be ko police no attack muna abi sabu because of corruption wala keta ni corruption keta the consequences of corruption are always severe I don't mo rakam fo peace to the government abi na fa matina ni multa ye mul push foy ta foy sustain naketa people are agitated be wulla ni wulda unrespected. These are some of the consequences of corruption. But the truth is, the president is abetting, helping corruption. Alright? Institutions are abetting and helping corruption. Bibi na moja laka uli jambi eka voucher da. The certain level, senior civil servant ni kata. The president have to approve it. Waldul kata ma eka finti kata eka bangkola kode wal tinade in the form of paradigms and all of that. Ini muna kana in return. Bukan fanyin ka. Corruption. Corruption, Masakunda B. We have different pay scales. Hey, Niman Punafno ni Magota. Eco minister Yol Dufay, Yellow Cafe. As some point, minister from some of them are paid more than the National Assembly. That's not Assembly for Najako, the joint of minister Melaka join Santa because we have to hold them accountable. So Nika Junti, so French Jolafa, Emandaola, a speaker from Talafa, guest. So welcome in Sudo. 300,000 or more, wala half a million, wala a million, wala beso in a month. Curriculum call for it. Teacher ning oda civil servant me anko wala maskunda fa masnali men ka maskunda samba wala buka so sango ko do you know ko most of the teachers most of the nurses soldier ni fingo la pay pa anu abako wala kimesi after the program you can go down and talk about it wala you can ask anybody about mari ba abako wala kimesi yo most me anko de ka jo wala kema and these are the people me anko wala inde ka londo bunda fanundi e ba jala all the other sectors comme na fa nyame ma maskunda ma fa buka njeba like to me some of the even half of the budget you making education kono you let them monitor them closely ni education monta nyaama ye mol bondiji yalla ni jang ni mo mail tuta ya extend ya fana do potol kono nyana mankol ko e je bebo yallo banko tita I'm telling you this ni mang den kaldi murne mako katida mol be menki kanyo la batare ala ayenda ka bola ad mensa bonu wala kan farok en tena o man la fa nyama ibo ka hanyo ko so nyake kimtal ye mala alive wala ye fa in all countries is the same Gambe jam ni corruption ke promote sako as long as ita corruption ke ka ni asoto kickbacks ko jiko kana ni jambu slow faral jambu hay kanu imanya wo slow ba duku kana mun pare slow katinya labo ya di contract menna ni fengol be singa ko jire fo labo contract ko ina ya bundu bul onen ko dota ya jomi nanata plus b and b men ko 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 impare ama sa difference sanju kiglo nazi but b from here I'm going there tadi billahi kata jambu you have a lot of loopholes Solomon Betian. Look, talk about the Banjul project. Mona failing. Is it not corruption? But I'm not namul ka contract with me because will charge an override overpay finkola. It call charge. So new okay, it will find they have that kickback. The kickback they not amateur. Now to don't for especially the commercial interact. In 10 years time, people are going to take that in this country. You can have. One, you either become businessman or you are government employees. If you become businessman, at level mula bang control because bango yalo for malon the politicians or businessman will control. Go ko that's one.
Influence.
That two, na economy better at level. If you go for kickbacks, I'll kickbacks will mama. Wala ale ko be munu mana because don't look aka council member for people come convince ba understand. Go ko nal fata about kitchen. So this is the problem. So what we are best at going to cover alna betu algo ni fat. Kadi alna di alal. Alay bangko ska din tolen doka fa alna di alal. Ala sulay bangko la. Ala mo sulay bangko, alay bangko ska din tolen ako mo liya alal something. Ala dinna. Ngam ko alna be di alal. Fa ala sulay dolen bangko. So fonna wulile na tunya fo nyoye na mang ni mang ako solve na wuli nyo kama ko ni mel bi jewol ta faade ko na jewol ko cross no ke nyami kama ko ifon be cross no ke ka mel cross no ke ki ma ko ki promote ki protect so wo kamala dron be tente na ka bada la fa menam taso la
I alluded earlier on, I mean, it was just a fantastic, I mean, program with these great, I mean, individuals here. But before we take a leave, I mean, I know they will have at least one or few words that they want to share with the viewers. Though we're out of time, that's the problem. They're also engaged. But we said earlier on it will be a 1 hour program. But now, let me say, it's almost two hours, almost 2 hours program. So, Mr. Sidibe, finally, I mean, just to cut things short, I know we've delved into, I mean, different issues and of course remedies, I mean, were given, I mean, to the authorities and to all individuals because it is not, I mean, a single, I mean, responsibility. Instead, it is a collective responsibility. At times we blame the government, but I think also we have a part to play. So what message do you have to send to the individuals down there as Gambia celebrates, I mean, 59 years still, I mean, we lagging, I mean, in our educational aspect, economic aspect, political aspect, corruption, other things. So what is your message?
Thank you so very much, Mr. Mbai. It's an honor to be here again. What I will just say is this: nationalism is very important and it should take precedence over any other thing. Because when you say nationalism, it's to be patriotic towards country. The country's interest should supersede any other thing, whether individual interest or another group's interest. Now, if you look at nationalism, because I'm trying to round it off, there was a documentary that I watched. This documentary was typically China. I saw two kids, in fact, three of them. Two of them were fighting, the other one was crying. Two of them were fighting, I mean, literally fighting. The other one was bitterly crying. So as soon as they heard the national anthem was being sung, They all cut up like this. The one that was crying stopped crying. And those that were fighting, they also immediately stopped fighting and they all stood. The other one put the arm here or the hand here on the chest. And the other one was doing like this. These are small guys, small kids. Now, if you look at that one, these are kids. Compare it to our Gambia, for example. How do we feel when the national anthem of our country is being sung? Sometimes it is being sung. Some of us will be browsing. Others will not even mind about whatever is being said there. And I think the national anthem is very important, provided that we would adhere to the message. Because it's a short and precise message, but it is moralistic and also didactic. And all in all, I think what we need to do is all boils down to this attitudinal change, and at the same time, let us be honest to ourselves. You know, if you are given a position that you think you cannot handle, please say, I cannot do this. You know, but you force yourself, you'll have a ghost worker, as I said, somebody will be doing everything for you, and you are just there as a stooge or so. All these things are the reasons why we are still, some steps backward to the promised land. So precisely, thank you so much. This is what I have.